Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the Zenler podcast. And today I have with me a very special guest, Jayant. And a lot of times when I think about him, I feel that how can one person have so much skills? I'm really intrigued. And I have been working with him, learning from him a lot in the past 1 year. And a little about him. He is the co founder of a leading marketing agency in India, Pixel Track, and they also have their coaching program where they've done about $10,000 of sales in the last month and a whooping 134 case studies out of 150. How's that even possible? I'll do it for you. I'll try to get as much nuggets as I can. Welcome to the show, Jan.
Hey, thank you very much. So, by the way, $10,000 was from one coaching program. We have three of those. So, we have more,
Yes.
but yeah, that is just one.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued to, know that first of all, before we get into the journey of how you did it, I'd love to ask that how did you start and what was your journey of getting into coaching?
Oh, yeah. So, there are two different questions. So, how did I start? Well, I started marketing during COVID because I had nothing else to do. I lost my job. So, I was looking for a new career. That's when I joined this company, Pixel Track, as an employee and as a freelancer, honestly, initially. Then I became an employee. Then I became so good that, I got equity in the company, and now Deepak and I are running the show together. That's TLDR version of my entire story. And how did I become a coach? Well, we started as a marketing agency, and in the marketing agency, we specialize in generating leads and sales for, mostly uh, mostly B2B. In the B2B, we have like HR and marketing agencies in UK, and there are some SaaS clients that we work with. And what we do is we deploy a cold outreach systems in their business, where they can consistently get clients month on month with just cold emails and social outreach. Yeah, that's like our service. Now, a lot of people, obviously, it's done for you service. So a lot of people obviously can't afford it. So a lot of people hire us to train them or their team to deploy the same systems in their businesses. So that's where we started our journey as a coach, where we launched this coaching program where we help agencies in India to scale up with the help of cold outreach. And we have a two-sided platform here where we train sales reps and appointment setters for them in one hand, one coaching program, and the other hand we place them in their companies where they can go ahead and close deals, so that the business owner that we work with, we consult, they focus on the business, not in the sales and all those areas that can be delegated. So that's how we pretty much started, and touchwood, it has been doing very well.
Yes, absolutely. And I think now I'd like to come back to the initial question that I was very intrigued with was that how do you have 134 case studies out of 150? In Chris, I'd like to ask that why would people choose to work with you? What makes you stand out in the coaching industry? Because today, honestly, as we see, there are so many people coming up that at times you can't really choose that who's genuinely providing value and who is there to mint your money. So, what
Yeah.
makes you stand out?
Case studies. I'm really proud of my case studies. So right now we are running at 90% success rate, and the rest 10% because right now, they have just joined. So it takes another couple of months to like get case studies out of them. But yeah, I'm very, very proud if some client does not get results, I take it very personally and I get offended. and and I take it very seriously to make sure that they see results, get their ROI, and they learn how to scale it on their own. So I think that is one part of why people choose us. Second thing is our personal brands. For both me and my co-founder Deepak, the our combined personal brand definitely has a lot of worth. Why people decide to join us with the case studies, of course. Without case studies, nothing works. I mean, it's a very
Absolutely,
short-term
that's
game if
true.
you just play on personal brands.
Yeah, that's true. And also, when you say personal brands, we always discuss this fact that people like to work with people, they trust people. So, that's
Yeah,
where personal branding comes in.
yeah.
And I'd love to ask, were there any, framework or metrics that you follow to make sure that you have that genuine outlook to the people, or how do people perceive you as genuine? How
All
would
right.
like the coach? Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So got it. So when you say genuine, it's like is it is it basically client attraction? How do we get the clients during that process? How do they perceive us as genuine, or is it after they come to our
Yes,
funnel?
yes, yes.
So it's pretty simple. Again, if I give you an example, if you have if you suddenly required surgery, and you came across two surgeons. One guy said, "Hey, I just started out 6 months back and I did 3 surgeries so far." And there is one more who said, "Hey, I've been in this industry for 7 years and have done 10,000 surgeries successfully, or let's say 100 surgeries successfully, with let's say 95% success rate." Who would you trust?
Of course. The second
Yeah,
one.
it doesn't require a lot, to be honest, to pursue. So a lot of the salespeople that thrive on this psychology persuasion, like, bro, if I tell you I have 90% success rate, and
Yeah.
I can, like, every time I have a Slack channel where I keep recording everybody's success. If they got some results, I take a screenshot and I put it there. And every time somebody says like, "Hey, I don't trust this system," then I just simply go to my Slack. If I can share it here. So this is the channel. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
This guy got a car for his parents. Um, so this is our wins. And I keep scrolling like, okay, tell me at what point should I stop to make you believe that this program is worth it. So it
Right.
doesn't stop because there are so many case studies they keep seeing, and I keep showing results. And when people see that other people are getting results, you don't really need to persuade them and or like come across like a lot of trustworthy person. I can have the most horrible attitude, but if I have the best case studies, you would be persuaded automatically.
Right. So you're telling me that, the work speaks for itself and that work should be solid enough. And I really
Exactly.
catched a word there when you were speaking was system. That, you have that kind of a system that people do get results.
Yep.
So all the coaches that are listening to us right now, how do they go about building the system that you've built for your coaching program?
Yeah. So you know how there are a lot of these YouTube videos where they talk about fake gurus, rise of fake gurus, whatever. I'll tell you what separates a genuine guy who cares about their client's success from a fake guru, what they call, right? So in any coaching business, you need, I'll just show you. I'll show you our activation points. So, in a nutshell, coaching business is a business of taking somebody from their current state where they are not happy or they aspire to become somebody and they are not able to, in a much more to a state where they are happy and they have reached a particular level, and in a much more smoother, easier, and faster way. Now, as a coach, we need basically 5 systems to deploy, and the way we track this is through something called as time to value, TTV, we call it. Time to value is how soon your clients are your clients getting results. So in our case, it's 90 days. So what is that value? The value in our case is
Yeah.
getting at least their funding back. If somebody has invested
Yeah.
$3,000 in me, they should get 3,000 back. And the way I see these case studies is like, if you have joined my coaching, you paid me 3,000, 3,500 right now dollars to learn from me, and if I help you at least add $3,500 on to your current business, then whatever you make after that is basically infinite ROI, right?
Right.
Similarly,
Right.
in case of a health coach, you are, let's say, on your own, you have tried losing your weight, and let's say you lost 10 pounds on your own, and you just can't seem to go past that, and you want to lose another 20 pounds. In my coaching program, if I help you to lose at least 5 6 another 10 pounds, whatever you achieved earlier, in a much more faster way, then whatever you learn from me, you pretty much will apply yourself and get to the next goal as well. So my job is to take them from that current state where they are to a state where they can be self-sustainable, have a steady flow of results that they are getting, right? So this is how I define, and the moment they get that value, I call it the time to value. Now, how soon can we deliver? How can we shorten the time to value to them, right? Now, this time to value can be broken into multiple chunks. Now, let's say you started at like $1,000 a month and you want to get to $5,000 a month as an agency owner, and it logistically it might take you 6 months to get there, right? But so then time to value is 6 months. But how do I break it down? So what are the things that are stopping you from getting to that particular level? One thing might be a specialization in your agency. Second are leads. Third is sales. Fourth is system. Fifth is building a team. So how soon can I help you specialize? Then how soon can I help you generate leads? So these are time to smaller values. Let's say TTSV. I don't know. I just call them. So how soon can I help you get the smaller milestones so that you can get that final outcome in a more systematic way? Now, these milestones are something that I call activation points. If you are a coach, it's absolutely critical to define the activation points that your client will take to get to that particular level. So the final outcome that you're promising them, right? So in our case, what I do, we very clearly outline what should be the activation point. If somebody is making 1 lakh rupees, less than 1 lakh rupees, these are the steps that they need to take. If they're getting here, these are the steps that they need to take. If they're here, then they need to take these steps. So very clearly these are defined, and I make sure that every step is executed as fast as possible. So that's the first thing to build this system. So you understanding what is the time to value to deliver to your clients. And second is breaking those time into smaller chunks so that they see the progress. The progress is not always like, hey, I made this much money. The progress is like, hey, I did not have leads before I've spoken to you. Now I am flooding with appointments, right? Or earlier I did not have any sales. Now I'm closing deals. So these are smaller chunks. Now, once you've broken this thing into multiple activation points, next thing is you need to make sure that your client is doing the stuff. Right? It's just activation step points are just in the, in paper.
Yeah.
But how do you actually execute it? So you need 5 pillars here. So 5 pillars are: first, knowledge. You need to transfer the knowledge somehow. For a lot of people, it is live class. For a lot of people, it's a course. For a lot of people, it's an ebook, it's a recording, audio note, whatever. Knowledge. Second, accountability. Just knowledge is not enough. You need to push them to do the work. You can create the best course in the world on how to lose 10 pounds in the next 10 weeks. But if people do not follow through their diet, do not do the work, then there is no point. And honestly, we are lazy people. So the coach has the responsibility to force the action onto the client. So here, how do you do that? In our case, we just hired an accountability manager. His life's purpose, his entire goal is to like really call people and shout at them and say, hey, did you do the work or not? And why did you not take action? When are you taking action? He holds them accountable to do the work. And just by these two things, you start seeing results, but these are not enough. Third thing is feedback. Now, you gave knowledge, you gave accountability. Now people are doing the work, but how do you know that they are doing the right work, right? Let's say, for example, I asked somebody to do push-ups one way, but they watched a YouTube video, they are still doing push-ups, but in the wrong way, then they're not going to get results. So they need to see the feedback. So what sort of feedback system would you add to your coaching business to make sure that your clients get results, right? In our case, it's a weekly live call thing where I personally go ahead and review everybody's cold emails, personally go ahead and review everybody's VSLs or ads. So I can give them the right feedback, because without that, they can keep doing the wrong thing and hence they'll complain that I've not gotten results. The fourth pillar of this entire delivery system is an accountability system. It's not accountability, it's a support system. Here, you gave them knowledge, you gave them accountability, you gave them feedback, but still there will be some people who are a little bit lagging. They're not getting results as fast, and it's not natural. In our case, we have a lot of laggards. So in fact, a lot more of our customers, they face this lag a lot because it's a technical thing. So what we do is like, we have the support system. So how approachable are you in support? You might have an email support, and we very actively monitor this. The moment if somebody send us a WhatsApp message in the community or an email, we try to respond immediately and try to get them on a one-on-one call and fix the issues as ASAP. Now, this is support. Support you can give through one-on-one sessions, emails, help desk, or a community, wherever you're part of. And that brings me to the fifth pillar, community. So coaching has to be driven by a community. The reason being, let's say, pretty cool example. Let's say you are the only person in the entire gym doing the workout. I'm sure it sounds really fun, but let's say you don't see others pushing themselves to their best, you will never push yourself to your best. So being a part of a community, a like-minded community where everybody is pursuing that one goal, helps people motivate. So, and when I said like, what separates you from a genuine coach, to a fake guru is that if you miss any one of these pillars, people will immediately label you as a fake guru. The market is brutal out there. So if you would have, and I actually analyzed a lot of these YouTube videos, roasting other people, and have gone through the courses that are being roasted online as well. They're not bad courses. They're actually very valuable. But why are these people getting offended, or these people getting bashed online? They had any one of these pillars missing. Somebody would have given just a course, no support, they would like get bashing. If you have given a course, support, everything, but not providing accountability, your clients don't get a result. If the client doesn't get a result, you get a 1-star review in your Google or whatever, Trustpilot. So when I studied all this, I realized we need all these 5 pillars. And yeah, it's not easy to deploy all the 5 pillars, and that is why you should charge a little bit high so that you can give good results. So that is what my system is. Now, how do we keep track? It's a whole different ball game, but this is a overview of what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm just blown right now, and I'm sure everybody who's listening to this video at this moment must be blown, is because what I understood, I'll just, reiterate, because there was so much knowledge that
Was it
first
too
is
fast?
that no. There was a
Okay.
lot of knowledge, a lot of nuggets for people to learn from. And I think if people are able to pick up these 5 pillars, as you rightly mentioned, they would be able to crack the game of coaching and getting more customers, more leads in the pipeline. Is because, as you very rightly mentioned, the roast videos that we see on YouTube, their content, their courses are not bad. They're actually valuable. But then still they are, in the heat of this roasting, because now that, you've said it, I am able to connect the dots, is because of one of the pillars is missing. Now that I put myself in the position that if I've thought about a particular coach this way, why have I thought it? Maybe this was the reason. Maybe one of the pillars was missing. So you talked about taking one step at a time, and as they begin with their students, get them the fastest result possible in the beginning. And then the 5 pillars that you talked about, which is getting them results, feedback, accountability, and support, and with that community, which is actually the connecting dots of all the 5
I'll
pillars.
show you some examples on how do I define this. This is Alpha and Mastery Club. So how do I provide knowledge? I do this through this. How do I provide feedback? This is how. How do I provide accountability? How do I provide the community? So it's a WhatsApp group. How do I provide support? So all of this I add. Similarly, I have a dog trainer for whom we created this offer. Again, activation points are absolutely critical. What activation point these dog trainers should follow, and how do you deliver the result, delivery vehicles? Knowledge, how does he provide knowledge? Accountability, how does he provide? Feedback, how does he provide? Community, how does he provide? And support, how does he provide? And guarantees and everything come later. This is one more YouTube coach who coaches people on how to launch YouTube. Again, activation points are like the foundation. These are the steps you take your people through. And then delivery vehicle, how do you deliver? Again, course through this, feedback through weekly lives, video edits audits live, accountability through account manager. Things that automatically becomes clear in your head, and also gives you a lot of clarity. I've seen a lot of coaches say, I have created this course and how do I price? Now you'll know, if you put all this effort, you will find the right price for your coaching program. That's that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I've learned a lot and I'm still, digesting all that information that you've shared with us. But I do have one more question. And I would love to know that, a lot of times I've seen people that they gain a little bit of experience. And I think this is connected to the point that we've started talking since the beginning. They get a little bit of experience, and then within 6 months, 1 year, they get into the coaching industry and they try to become a coach. So, and then the problem arises. So, how do people trust themselves? What is the right time to become a coach and get into the coaching industry?
Again, my answer is case studies. So when I started giving value for free. And the whole reason I did that is because I wanted the case studies to show the whole, because nobody knew me back then. So now people know me slowly and steadily. People still don't know me, but at least I have a lot of case studies to prove my worth. And what I did was, like, I started delivering these values absolutely free of cost. That doesn't mean that people should start delivering value to everyone. Pick your customers, just like you would pick your regular customers. Do the same thing. It's just that put all the same filters, just don't take money. The idea here is you need to get some case studies out, and that case study is absolutely critical. Or you can do something like what Alex did. If let's say you are starting out as a coach and you don't have a lot of experience, you have some experience on getting your own results, and you feel like you can teach to somebody else, just tell them like, hey, I'm thinking to price it at this point. Just pay the same amount of money to a charity of your choice and show me the receipt, and I will coach you. But in exchange, I need two things. I need a video testimonial once you get results, and a referral, something like that. And this will build a lot of confidence in people. And there is nothing wrong with charging or serving somebody for free, because you're not a special snowflake. Nobody cares about you. Market is honestly brutal. You can be a great persuader, but then what? You can be a great salesperson, but what happens over time in the long term is that it starts affecting the brand. And for me, my brand is everything. A single taint on my brand is, it hurts me. I can't sleep at nights if I see a single negative review.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because, like we've been talking, when people trust you and when they look at your personal brand, that's how they perceive you. So it's the
Yeah.
utmost important thing in building a business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, in a nutshell, if you're starting out, get some case studies out. I mean, if let's say somebody who wants to become a coach, and start coaching as an additional source of income, I would not tell them
Yeah.
like, hey, quit your job, become a coach. I would tell them like, get the case studies out first, then think about quitting a job and becoming a coach, something like that.
Absolutely. So I think from what I've understood from the conversation, the real deal is having the delivery vehicle in place and then having the case studies in place is going to, help you crack the game of coaching and set you apart from all the other ones that are being roasted on YouTube today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And just, curious question and a funny one. I don't know how the answer of this question could look like, but if there was a gadget that could actually, tell a real genuine coach and maybe a fake one, what kind of features would this gadget have?
I don't know. I think the gadget can simply, again, if you are someone who is trying to understand somebody's coaching business and want to judge whether this guy is genuine for me, just ask them, do you have any of these five things? So
Yeah,
just simply ask them in the sales call, hey, what does the curriculum look like? How do you get me the result? If I don't uh, do the work, is there an accountability system? I know I'm lazy, I procrastinate a lot. Do you have an accountability system for this? Or three, do you have a support thing? Is there a community if I can be a part of? Or fifth, do you give regular feedback? Right. So
yeah,
you asking these questions will pretty much filter out a lot of people. If they say, oh, we don't give feedback, obviously you have to look at the price. If the price is high and they still don't give feedback, then what's the point joining in that
yeah,
particular,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
For low priced courses, if it's just a recorded course, obviously you can see that regular feedback for everyone would be difficult. In that
yeah,
case, do you have somebody who I can reach out to and ask questions? At least it should be available, and I think that pretty much uh, gives you a lot of idea about whether the course that you are trying to join is worth it or not. Honestly, I don't think there
absolutely.
is a bad course out there. If somebody has created a course, then it must have come from their own experience. It's just that the other pillars are missing. That's all.
Right, right, absolutely. Thank you so much. That was a lot of information and insights, and I'm sure everyone who's listening to this will absolutely going to love this podcast. But one thing, if people want to reach out to you, they want to get connected to you, work with you, or learn from you, then what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Twitter. My Twitter is, I'm recently getting active on Twitter. So, wait, I'll just show you my Twitter profile.
Yes.
And
And
it's just
also,
that,
we'll mention
yeah.
the link of the social media platforms in the description so you can reach out to him.
All right,
Go tell
yeah.
him that you saw him on the Zenler podcast and say hi.
And do follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to grow my
Yeah.
audience there. So it's simple, Jayant KP. We can put the link there,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's pretty much it.
absolutely. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for doing this.
Thank you.
Bye bye.